I remember very vividly the girl named Rinku. Actually, she had went through a lot of struggles at home. Husband was useless, he was jobless. She had a boy, she had to take care of him. So she came here for training. And she did the training well. She was part of hospitality. And she went for interview. First round, she was rejected. Not because she was not talented, because she was overaged. So almost 16 times she couldn't get through. After 16th trial, she came here, almost tears in her eyes, and said, "Father, 16 times I couldn't get through. Tomorrow I have another interview in Patna." And I told her, "Don't worry, take courage, you will do it." So she went back next day to Patna, attended the 17th attempt. And she called up to me first after the interview. She said, "Father, I got through." 18th time, she got through in a place where she wanted.
The blackboard. What does it make you feel? What does it make you think of? A duty? Stress? Maybe good old times? What if I told you here, in BIHAR, it's a symbol of the dreamers. BIHAR is one of the most populated states of India. It's a bit over 100 million people, which could be 2/3 of the Russian population, or around the population of Mexico, but on 20 times smaller area than Mexico, and 181 times smaller land than Russia. It's not hard to guess. It's a poor end of the world, extremely polluted, undeveloped. 40% of people can't even read their own names. So the obvious solution seems to be education. But what if no one really cared? And this is where the Jesuit story begins.
भीमराव ने मैट्रिक की परीक्षा दी, वह उस जाति के लिए बहुत बड़ा था, ठीक है?
There are different socially backward communities, and we are focusing on Musa communities, where in BIHAR this is one of the biggest community which has been having a very low literary standards. So there only the data says only 11% of the Musas are educated. We have also included other communities like Dhangad, Domes. They are economically poor, landless laborers, and they are in big number, and they have no idea regarding the government norms. So whatever the landlords or the big farmers decide to pay, and it is given to them. So they are paid sometimes 100 rupees, sometimes 200 or 180 rupees, with which they can't sustain themselves.
This is not an abandoned train platform. It's only a 5-year-old village primary school. State teachers hardly ever make it here. So the gap is filled by the Jesuit collaborators.
परीक्षा उत्तीर्ण की थी, इसकी खुशी में घर में क्या मनाई जा रही थी?
I have here for 6 years to teach the student, and my subject is English and math. I always tell the value of education, because the education is good. The education is the things that it is never stolen by anyone, and if I have a good education, then nothing is impossible in the world. We can do work and feed their family. In school, talking about in government school, there is no any responsibilities, but here we have a responsibility. Why the children is not come? We have a exam, written exam, and viva exam.
Some of these village children have very strong motivation. Father Fernandez struggles to bring them to a bigger town of Betia and educate on the best level. Though one of the biggest problems are the parents.
The interest and the motivation is very low. They think that they can't achieve anything through education. And we have children who come here for the 9th standard, and at times we have children, they don't even know A to Z, all the alphabets, to write all the alphabet from A to Z. Sometimes they mix up with big letters and small letters, and by the time they finish their 10th standard, they are able to speak in English. By the time they finish their 12th standard, they are able to give a good speech in English, and they are able to converse in English. And this is a pretty good achievement for the community. We don't just deal with the textbook learning. In this house, I don't call this as a hostel or a school or a boarding. This is a family. We teach them English, both written and spoken. We also teach them dance. We also teach them acting skills. First of all, they discover that they have these talents in them. Second, we give them a platform. We have one girl, she is from Patna. She belongs to Potter's community, coming from a very poor background. And she had two problems at hand. One is they were very poor, and secondly, she would have been sexually exploited by the maybe the family members or by the neighbors. So she was totally insecure. So she came here, we took care of her, and she was not too good at studies in the beginning. She picked up well, all self-study. Now she has finished her masters in social work, and now she has scored well. She was a topper in the class in the university as well. We also have some sad stories. We had some very intelligent students. She was a promising girl. She scored well, first class marks, and then her family members simply wouldn't support her for higher studies. They forced her to get married, and now she is married. When we look at as an outsider, when we see that child marriage, a girl of the age of 13 or even 15, 16 getting married or given in marriage to somebody, we may not agree. Neither the law of this land doesn't agree. They don't have security at home, they nobody to take care, they're all farmers. So when they move out of the village, the girl can be raped. And secondly, there is dowry system in this community. So if the girl is married off at the young age, so dowry is less. You give a cow or a cycle and few thousand rupees, and you can avoid a bigger dowry. Here in Reed, in our houses, they have no issue. Most of the parents, they would allow the girls to be here and get educated. But if we allow them to stay somewhere else or be at home and get educated, then they would not agree, because they can't take the risk. And this is the social reality and a real challenge for us. I feel so lucky that I am working in this place and fulfilling the desire that I had to work with the downtrodden. And it's not that I am doing much for them, it is God is using me in some way to be something for these people.
I don't know if I did not come here and what happened to me. Reed has helped me to retain my identity. Now I am able to speak, say something about my life and what is my goal. My purpose is to become a teacher. I am poor, but I have confidence that I can do something.
I like to teach the small students dance and sing. I have many good friends and elder brothers and sisters.
So, how the Jesuits make sure when children become youth, they find good jobs and reach their dreams?
We get students from rural-most areas, from the poorer areas, tribals, SC, scheduled castes, and women, and deserving sectors of the society. and a good number of them from minority sections of India.
और यहाँ पे 3 मंथ से हम बच्चे लोग को ट्रेनिंग देते हैं और एज ए आशादीप 2010 से यहाँ पे सेंटर चल रहा है और उसके बाद यहाँ पे 4000 से 4500 बच्चे लोग को ट्रेनिंग किए हैं.
We give them intense program of 3 months in different disciplines with the practical classes, theory classes like exposure visits, guest lectures, soft skill programs, and computer classes, spoken English classes. So within 3 months we are able to prepare them for a job.
और बहुत सारे बच्चे जो हैं वो अपना खुद का बिजनेस करते हैं, खुद का अपना व्यवसाय कर लेते हैं और इससे फैमिली को सपोर्ट करते हैं. और जो बच्चे यहाँ पे ट्रेनिंग करते हैं वो अपने गांव में जाके बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट को बताते हैं और उनके देखा देखी बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट भी हम लोग के पास आते हैं और जो अपने
During this training, we give them power of saying, you are good, you can do, and you are capable. Every youth likes to be listened. Most of the time we keep instructing. Suppose we start listening to them and they are with you. Appreciation is another important dimension. Even a small little thing they do, you appreciate them and they feel I am appreciated and recognized. That will give them a self-worth and self-value.
12वीं के बाद मैं पढ़ाई छोड़ दी, कहे कि घर परिवार की स्थिति गंभीर थी, पैसा दे नहीं पा रहे थे. मेरा सोच था कि मैं आगे पढ़ के कुछ करूं, ग्रेजुएशन करने की सोच रही थी, लेकिन पैसा नहीं, घर में पैसा नहीं होने के कारण मैं नहीं कर पाई. और यहाँ आके मुझे बहुत खुश लगा कि मैं कुछ अपना पैर में खड़े होने के लिए कुछ करूँगी. आके बहुत खुशी हुआ. 3 महीना का कोर्स की. 3 महीना कोर्स करने के बाद मुझे प्लेसमेंट दिया गया सांपकटी हॉस्पिटल में. वहाँ 3 महीना काम की. 3 महीना काम करने के बाद मैं सोची कि नहीं, उससे अच्छा तो मुझे ट्रेनिंग करने से अच्छा है. ट्रेनिंग करने से कुछ आगे और निकल सकूं, जिस मंजिल को मैं पाने चाहती हूँ उस मंजिल तक पहुँच सकूं. सोची तो जेसुरात फादर से मैं बात की कि मुझे पढ़ना है आगे, कुछ लाइफ में आगे बढ़ने के लिए. तो फादर बोले ठीक है, मैं कोशिश करूँगा, इस बोले. तो फादर ट्राई किए, वो खोज रहे थे कि कहाँ पर खाली ट्रेनिंग सेंटर पता लगे. तो पता लगने के बाद हमें बताया गया कि बेंगलोर में खाली स्थान है. तो वहाँ हमको बताए कि वहाँ जाएगी ऐसे करके. तो मैं बोली हाँ जाऊँगी. तो वे हमको उत्साह दिए कि वहाँ करने के लिए. तो मैं वहाँ बेंगलोर गई. बेंगलोर में 3 साल का कोर्स की GNM का, और 3 साल कोर्स करके अभी जॉब कर रही हूँ.
In 2019, the Global Society of Jesus decided that accompanying youth in the creation of a hopeful future would be one of the 4 preferences for the Jesuits in the next 10 years. Read more at jesuits.global/UAP.